Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Legend, and I'm back with another video. Another banger. What if Naruto was the last God of Shinobi? Part 2. If you guys like the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. Hit that bell icon, turn on post notifications, so you get notified whenever I upload videos like this. But, without further ado, let's get into this intro so we can start this what if.
I put out all this art, it's my only medicine, yeah. Everything I do, I'm just being genuine, yeah. I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline, yeah. I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful.
Naruto was about to walk out of the office with his mentor, Jiraiya, but he was stopped by Sarutobi. Naruto, how do you think you would do against every genin in this village? Naruto perked up at that question. Well, before me and Jiraiya Sensei got to the village, I tried to make a bet with him that I would be the strongest genin, but Jiraiya said he wasn't going to make that bet with me. Sarutobi chuckled. He liked the confidence Naruto had now. And what makes you think that? I'm curious. Naruto then went on to explain why he was so confident that he could easily win against every genin in the village. Once he was taken in by Jiraiya, the very first thing he learned was the Shadow Clone Jutsu. He also learned the ins and out of said jutsu as well. For example, a Shadow Clone can actually take up to 4 hits before it dispels, but most people think that it would only take 1 hit. He also knew that he could make his training go by a lot faster if he used his clones. Jiraiya also forced all of the fundamentals into his head, and Naruto used his clone to perfect his fundamentals while he worked and learned other things. He even learned how to throw kunai and shuriken perfectly at close, medium, and long ranges, which in turn helped with his shuriken jutsu. So with him being able to accomplish a feat like that, his math is also at an exceptional level. He already knew how to walk up surfaces and walk on water, and his chakra control was almost perfect considering what he held inside of him. He had Kage level chakra reserves with Kage level stamina. His taijutsu was that of a high chunin. With his Fuin jutsu, well, that was at a genin level, but it was slowly improving. His Kenjutsu was on low tuning level, but that was only with swords. If Naruto was using a blade that was less than 2 feet long, then the blade was just an addition to his taijutsu style, which bumped said skill up to low jonin level. When Sarutobi was told all of this, he was tempted to just promote Naruto right then and there. Sarutobi went to speak, but he was cut off by his student. There's a few more things, Sensei. For one, Naruto is fully capable of fighting accurately without his eyesight. He also has the Told Summoning Contract as well. And with the Biju sealed inside of him, Genjutsu doesn't work on him. Sarutobi looked at Naruto. He was kinda speechless. At the rate Naruto was growing and improving at, he could be a Jonin in a matter of 3, maybe 4 years. Sarutobi came out of his stupor as he cleared his throat. Well, Naruto-kun, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to do for you what I should have done a long time ago. Sarutobi dug into his drawer for a few seconds. as the occasional swear came from his mouth before he finally retrieved what he was looking for. Alright, Naruto, I'm sure Jiraiya has told you something about your parents, yeah? Naruto nodded, and Sarutobi continued to speak. Well, in that case, I will not ask or assume how much he has told you, but what I will do is give you your birthright. This comes with access to both of your parents' hefty bank accounts, the house that the two of them stayed in and still own, the abundance of scrolls and techniques of the two, and the personal journals of both of your parents. The third Hokage then slid a thick envelope, a set of keys, 2 thick notepads, and 2 scrolls, all held together by a thick rubber band across the desk. Naruto took a step forward and took the contents as he nodded and thanked the Hokage. Sarutobi nodded and continued to speak. Now, what I'm going to do here and now is I'm going to give you 2 hours to go. Get something to eat, re-familiarize yourself with the village, give you time to settle into your new home, buy some new clothes, get some food for your house, stuff like that. Once those 2 hours are up, I want you to meet me at the Hokage's training grounds. This is where you will face off against every genin in the village to test your skill, and also try and find a team for you. If we are unable to find you a team, then I'll make a special unit with you as the center. Now go. Naruto nodded with a smile as he left through the window behind the Hokage's desk. Sarutobi and Jiraiya smiled before Jiraiya got a curious look on his face. What do you plan to do with Naruto, sensei? Hiruzen leaned back in his chair as he lit his pipe and took a couple of puffs, and then blew out the smoke before he finally spoke. What exactly do you mean, Jiraiya? Jiraiya pulled up a chair and sat across from his former teacher as the old man pulled out a bottle of sake and handed it to the Toad Sage. I believe you know exactly what I'm talking about, sensei. So don't try to act like you don't. Now spill. Sarutobi chuckled as he puffed on his pipe and removed it from his lips as he sat it down on the desk. Well, Jiraiya, since you've noticed the way I've worded my last sentence I've spoken to Naruto, I guess it won't hurt if I let you know what I have planned for the boy if he can't get a normal team. What I have planned is... Sarutobi had to stop and think for a second before he spoke again. What I have planned is similar to Anbu, but it is far superior and better. It's something that would require a lot of resources to get the desired outcome. I would have multiple different Jonin instructors to not teach, but help them improve and guide them. They would be provided with the top of the line equipment. They would have full Kage insurance, which would include free medical care, a free nutrition plan, a 90% discount on all clothing, free personal hygiene products, and free training assistance from any instructor of their choosing. That's what the Kage insurance would include, and it would be guaranteed that they would be taken care of. And it would only be one team, just a single 3-man cell, no Jonin sensei, just Naruto and 2 other special shinobi or kunoichi that would complement and work well with Naruto. Jiraiya nodded as he took in all of the information. This was coming as a shock to him. He was actually surprised that the Hokage was finally trying to do right by Naruto. Meanwhile, Naruto walked into the ramen stand of Ichiraku. It was the only place he could go to without being charged 4 to 7 times the actual price of the actual product. Big sister Ayame, old man Tuechi, I'm back, and I need 2 bowls of miso beef ramen. The two turned around in shock as they saw Naruto, who was now slightly grown up compared to his prior self. He was now in clothes that could actually fit him, and he was actually tall for his age, with a nice amount of muscle that was noticeable through his black mesh shirt that fit his upper body like a glove. He also had on a pair of navy blue shinobi style pants with white shinobi grade tape around the bottom portion of his pants, finished with the shin high shinobi sandals that were black, with a kunai pouch on his right leg and a mile of ninja wire wrapped around his belt. It was a shinobi look that fit him and only him. Ayame wanted to jump the counter and glomp the blonde, but she refrained and waited for him to approach the counter so she and her father could hug the blonde in a more mature way. The three of them broke the hug, and Tuechi began to work on the ramen as Ayame and Naruto began to catch up with one another. So, what's the deal? You usually order more than just 2 bowls of ramen. Naruto nervously rubbed the back of his head as he answered. Well, you see, if I'm gonna become a respected and strong shinobi, then I have to eat healthy so my body can have the required energy and nutrients for such a strenuous career. At least, that's what I was told by Jiraiya sensei. Ayame nodded, seeing the reasoning behind the statement. She also knew that most of the shops in Konoha liked to charge Naruto more than triple the original price for food that was expired and inedible. That's understandable. Well, I think Dad and I can add a new menu item that's lower in sodium and healthier for people that actually need or prefer that type of thing. Right as Ayame finished her sentence, Naruto's ramen was placed in front of him. He thanked them for the food, and then he began to dig into his ramen with actual table manners, and it came to a shock to the both stand owners. Usually Naruto would eat like a pig, and food would be all over his mouth, with broth and the occasional noodle flying in random directions due to his barbaric slurping. But that was not happening now. He was actually eating like he was from some royal family. He was taking his time eating. It was like he was in no rush. He wasn't worried someone would try to take his food. He was calm, and he made sure that his area remained clean as he ate. When Naruto finally finished his meal, he paid and left. He was planning on going to the bank because he wanted to see just how much money he had in the 2 bank accounts that he had just inherited. He exited the booth and immediately took to the rooftops and made his way to the only bank that was located in the Hidden Leaf. Upon arriving, he entered the medium-sized building. When the bank clerk saw him enter, she tensed up a little due to the dislike she felt towards him. The bank clerk was a fairly tall woman who stood at a height of 5'9". She had long, straight black hair that went down to the middle of her back, dark blue eyes, and a smooth, fair porcelain skin. She also sported a bosom size that put her in D cups. She had meaty thighs that fit her athletic figure, and nice childbearing hips. Attached to those hips was an ass that was a nice size, not too big nor too small, just right. She had on a black dress that hugged her entire body, all the way down to her upper thighs. She had on a pair of black shinobi flats that complemented the look. As Naruto approached the counter, his eyes couldn't help but look down at the woman's rack. It wasn't like it was going to burst out from the woman's dress, but The dress hugged her form so perfectly that her breasts just looked really nice to his teenage mind at that moment. The clerk saw this and shifted slightly as she tried to cover herself just a little bit so the boy wasn't ogling her. "What is it that you need, boy?" Naruto coughed, now embarrassed, knowing he was caught, but he spoke calmly as he pulled out the information that he needed. Yeah. So sorry, I need to check how much money I have in 2 of my accounts." The clerk sighed in mockery under her breath, but spoke in a professional manner. "Okay, well, just give me the number for each account, and I'll be able to do that for you. It'll take as little as 3 minutes." Naruto complied with her. He gave her the account number for the first account, and the clerk went off into the back of the bank. She cross-referenced the account number to the numbers that were written on the medium-sized safes that were all stacked neatly on top and next to each other. When she finally found it, she put in the code that she was given and opened up the safe. She wasn't surprised at all when she opened up the safe and looked inside. There was not a single Ryo note inside. The only thing that was inside of the safe was dust. She went back to the front in a professional manner and informed Naruto that there was not a single Ryo note in the account. Naruto was extremely shocked that there was 0 money in his father's account. It didn't make sense to him, but he wasn't going to show that outward. He would just go and bring the problem up with the Hokage. Yeah, thank you. Can you go back and check the amount of money I have in this account?" Naruto gave her the account number, and the woman almost sneered, but she kept up her professional manner. She went back to where all the safes were and repeated the process. When she finally got to the correct safe, she expected to find another empty safe, but that wasn't the case. When she opened the safe, her eyes nearly bugged out of her head. She didn't even know how to get any of the money out because the money was stacked to the very top of the safe, and she had to count all of it. After a couple of minutes, the clerk came back to the front. She was now exposing more of her assets. She had undone one of the buttons on the top of her dress, letting more of her cleavage show, and there was now a cut at the bottom of her dress that ran from the bottom all the way up to her hip. It was a self-made cut that took out a chunk of the fabric. As she approached, Naruto didn't know where to look. The sight of her breast was even better now, but the sight of her thigh and the strap of her panties that he was able to see through the cut put certain images in his head that caused him a slight nosebleed and made him aroused. Even the tone of her voice was different. She went from using a tone of voice that was used for business to using a tone of voice used for seducing and trying to get laid. "Excuse me, sir? Are you alright?" Naruto snapped out of his thoughts and wiped the blood from his nose. I'm sorry, what?" The clerk gave a slight smirk that was barely noticeable. "I said you have a total of 34 million Ryo in your second account. Is there anything else you would like to have done here today?" Naruto had to force himself to rip his gaze away from the woman's cleavage as she leaned over the counter. No. I think that'll be all for today. Thanks for dealing with me, Miss." Naruto paused. He wanted to address the woman properly, but he didn't even know her name. Oh, don't worry about it, and please just call me by my first name, Araya. Actually, I'll be more than happy to work with you whenever you make a return here. Naruto nodded, and he went to turn and leave, but he was stopped when the clerk began to speak again. Actually, here's a better idea. She quickly wrote her information on a piece of paper and gave it to him. That's all of my information. Whenever you need anything done here, or you need help moving your money, or just want to talk, you have my information and you know where to find me. Or you can ask my co-workers for me. Naruto's eyes widened slightly. This was the fourth person to show him kindness. He nodded, not knowing what to say. When Naruto finally left, Araya collapsed into her chair. She couldn't believe that she was now actively pursuing and trying to seduce someone who was barely 14 or 15. But she was barely able to get by herself. She worked at a bank, yet she barely made enough money to support herself. She wasn't going to try and steal or take money from Naruto because she knew that he was important to the Hokage. But she was now trying to get with him because she knew if she did, then he would naturally want to take care of her simply because she would be his woman. But Araya didn't know how correct she actually was. She didn't know that Naruto would go above and beyond for his friends. So imagine what he would do for someone he was emotionally invested in that reciprocated his emotions. Naruto made his way to Sarutobi's office and he burst in through the door. Sarutobi looked at the blonde as Jiraiya turned in his seat and also looked at the blonde. Sarutobi was about to speak, but he was cut off by Naruto. Old man, do you know there is no money in my father's account? The three of them all had a stare off before Sarutobi finally screamed. What? Jiraiya winced along with Naruto. Even the Anbus in the corners felt a chill go down their spines. What do you mean? Minato's account is empty. As the Hokage, I should be the only one who has access to all of the accounts of this village. And I never accessed it. So who? Sarutobi stopped speaking as a thought hit him. Naruto, Jiraiya, I need the two of you to accompany me to a council meeting between the clans and civilian council. I will schedule it so it's after your event today, Naruto. Don't worry, I will straighten this out and the money will be returned in full with interest. You have my word. Naruto nodded and then he left. Now he was going to check out his new place before he had to go and meet up at the Hokage's training area. Time skip. Naruto, Jiraiya, and the Hokage were all at the Hokage's training grounds. Across from them were all of the other genin of the village. Sarutobi stepped forward and began to speak. Hello and welcome, Shinobi and Konoichi of the Leaf. You all may be wondering why you all are here at my personal training grounds. Believe me, you all are here for an important reason. And if some of you show enough promise, then maybe, just maybe, two of you will get rewarded and be enlisted to a different Shinobi program I plan to make. Now, I'm sure some of you remember Naruto here. He failed the academy. Well, I sent him on an extensive training trip with my very capable shinobi. So this is what I want. You all will fight Naruto one-on-one, and you will try your hardest against him. I'm doing this because I need to test his skills. So we will start with the newest genin and end with the most experienced genin. Sarutobi then stepped back and Jiraiya placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. I want you to prove every single one of them wrong. Make them regret ever doubting you. Show them that you mean business. Naruto nodded, and he stepped forward with Jiraiya, who was going to act as a proctor for the matches. Across from him, Kiba stepped forward. He went to say something, but Naruto cut him off. Shut up and fight. Jiraiya started the match. What happened next was something that shocked everyone. Kiba went and did a tunneling thing, and Naruto just stood there, waiting for Kiba to get close. Once Kiba was close enough, Naruto simply planted his feet and simply punched Kiba out of his jutsu, sending Kiba skidding back unconscious. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto nodded, not surprised by his win at all. The next person to step forward was Shino. Naruto looked Shino, and in a matter of seconds, he had already formed 3 different strategies. He was going to go with strategy number 2 for the most optimal outcome. Jiraiya again started the match, and without any hand signs, a clone appeared behind Naruto. The real one dashed forward at a decent amount of speed, not wanting to go all out on his comrades, while the clone launched kunai and shuriken at Shino from a distance. Shino was forced to keep moving, lest he got hit by a projectile and had to fight Naruto. Meanwhile, most of the other genin were surprised at the little skill Naruto showed so far. When he was in their class in the academy, he was far worse than he was now, but there was still some who thought that he was worthless and thought they could beat him. Those being Sasuke, Sakura, Sai, Shikamaru, Tenten, and Neji. Back with the fight, Shino found himself unable to move as he looked down and saw a hand grabbing his ankles. He looked back up to see a kunai at his throat. Give up. You already lost. Shino didn't think so. He actually thought the opposite. Is that so, Naruto? How about you take a look at your hand? Naruto looked down to see insects covering his hand. Those insects have a deadly venom within them. It can cause a range of side effects and even deaths. So, how about you give up, Naruto? Naruto only smirked before he poofed away in a cloud of smoke. Shino was then knocked out by a hard punch to the side of the chin as Naruto spoke. If I'm being honest, you probably had the highest chance of beating me. Jiraiya announced Naruto as the winner. And the next to step up was Hinata. She walked up nervously as she poked her fingers together in a weak and shy way. Before Hinata could even speak, Jiraiya had started the match. Naruto rushed forward faster than Hinata could track without her Byakugan and punched her in the face, causing her to spin in the air like a missile before she crashed into the ground. She sat up and looked at Naruto before she started to cry. This left Naruto confused as hell, and he didn't know what to do. He looked back at the Hokage, and then at Jiraiya, before he looked back to Hinata. Why was she crying? He didn't even hit her that hard. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki. Neji just shook his head at the sight and sneered. How pathetic and weak. The next to step forward and face Naruto was Choji. He stepped forward with a bag of chips, and he ate the last one. Jiraiya started the match, and Choji instantly went into his human boulder form and started to roll at Naruto. The blonde, however, went through hand signs and shocked Sasuke. Fire style, fireball jutsu. Choji now had 2 choices. He could abandon his human boulder form to dodge, or he could continue to roll and be hit and burned by the jutsu. Feeling the intense heat, Choji chose to move out of the way as he watched the light orange fireball pass before it finally dispersed. "Proctor, I forfeit." Jiraiya nodded and announced Naruto as the winner. The next to step up was Shikamaru. The moment the fight started, Shikamaru forfeit. "Look, Naruto, seeing what you're able to do and what you did to all of the others, I know I don't have a chance at winning against you at the moment." Shikamaru then began to walk back to his team as Ino stepped forward and took his place. "I'm not forfeiting like my team did. I at least have to try before I even think about giving up." Once again, Jiraiya started the fight, and immediately Ino tried to enter Naruto's mind. When her jutsu hit, Naruto's head snapped back. A few seconds later, Ino returned back to her body with a shook look on her face. In the end, Ino also forfeit. Naruto wasn't surprised, but it was also less work he had to do. The next to step forward was Sakura. Naruto's crush on her was long since faded, and as of recent, he now had a crush on a much better woman. A woman who was older, prettier, more mature, and more developed, and actually treated him nicely. As she stepped up, Sakura began to run her big mouth. "Naruto Baka, I don't even know why you try to be as cool as my Sasuke-kun. You will never be able to match up to him. You can't even match up to me. You need to stop acting so cool and stop this joke, you failure." Naruto looked at Jiraiya with a smile. "Sensei, start the match." Jiraiya did as told, and in a blink of an eye, Naruto held Sakura in the air by the throat, a smile still on his face. Naruto finally opened his eyes and looked at the choking Sakura as his smile faded. "Listen here, you insect. You're the one that's acting. I don't even know how you became an active shinobi. You're weak. You're a fangirl. You have nothing that sets you apart. You're not from a clan. You are pathetic. I don't know who's worse, you or Hinata." Naruto continued to hold Sakura until she passed out. He then tossed her to the side as she hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. Sasuke chuckled as he stepped up. "I see you got over that pointless crush on the fangirl, loser. But even so, I'm still better than you." Sasuke activated his Sharingan and smirked. Naruto didn't even wait for Jiraiya to start the match. He speed blitzed Sasuke at half his full speed, and Sasuke blocked with a decent reaction time. It was good since he only had 2 tomos. The two clashed fists, causing Sasuke to draw back and shake his hand to free the pain. Naruto swung again, and Sasuke just barely dodged, but he ended up dodging into a kick. Sasuke wiped his mouth and shot forward with 2 kunais in hand. Sasuke then tossed both kunai at Naruto, who jumped out of the way. Sasuke then went through hand signs and launched a fireball at him. Naruto, not wanting to reveal too much, countered with his own fireball that was far hotter. Naruto's fireball completely destroyed Sasuke's fireball before he manually dispersed the jutsu. Soon Naruto got bored and just knocked Sasuke out with minimal effort. Naruto expected Sai to step up, but he wasn't interested in any type of spar or fight at the moment. So the next to step up was Tenten. And Naruto had no problem at all beating Tenten. She was just like Sakura, except she took her career seriously and like weapons. When he finished with Tenten, His next fight was with Neji. Naruto didn't plan to fight Neji on his terms. The Hyuga was too smart and too skilled in the gentle fist to risk that. When the fight started, Naruto launched a massive fireball at Neji, who sidestepped it. He quickly closed the distance and got in Naruto's guard, but when he went to strike Naruto, he pulled back with a hiss, and Naruto took the opportunity to headbutt Neji in the nose, breaking it. The Hyuga stepped back, holding his nose, as blood flowed from it, and he glared at Naruto. "Sorry, Neji, but you're too dangerous of an opponent to fight fairly. So I'll need every advantage I can get if I'm gonna win and not show everything that I can do." The statement pissed Neji off to no end. To know that Naruto would fight him and wouldn't even use his full abilities was irritating. It was an embarrassment. But that's just how fate would play out this day. Neji shot forward, now breathing through his mouth, but now he was just a tiny bit slower because now he couldn't breathe correctly. Naruto jumped back. As he went through hand signs and slammed his hands down onto the ground, lightning style, high voltage. Multiple streams of electricity quickly spread through the ground and rushed at Neji, causing him to jump to avoid the jutsu. Naruto saw this as his chance, as he jumped off with 4 clones. Naruto! Our favorite blonde wasn't able to finish his combo, as Neji spun and released chakra from all over his body. 8 trigrams palm rotation. Naruto was blown back, and Hinata was both shocked and surprised that her cousin was able to pull off a technique that belonged to the main branch of the Hyuga clan. Naruto stood up and brushed off the dirt that was on his shoulders with an annoyed look on his face. Neji was slightly better than he thought, and it was starting to annoy him. Naruto was currently using about 30% of his ability, and he really didn't want to go past 45%. Naruto turned his speed up a bit, along with his punching power and chakra output, as he blitzed Neji with 15 shadow clones. Neji had to do a lot of ducking and dodging, and he had no time to strike back because there was just too many hands and feet coming at him at once. Neji then jumped as a clone tried to grab him from underground, and that was when he realized that he had made a mistake. He couldn't dodge, and there were at least 13 different Narutos jumping at him. Neji did another rotation, dispelling all of the clones. When he finished the rotation and was starting to fall from the sky, his eyes widened. Naruto had jumped at him with a swirling spear of chakra, and he could tell that if that hit him, it would grind through his flesh and bones with 0 difficulty. Naruto then dispelled the jutsu right before he got to Neji, so he wouldn't cause him any long-term damage, as he touched Neji's chest. "If this were a real fight, you would be dead. This is my win. Now leave." Neji was embarrassed, but Naruto was right. So as much as he wanted to strike him down, he wouldn't. The last person to face Naruto was Lee, and it was Naruto's toughest fight. Naruto and Lee remained even until Lee removed his weights. Lee speed blitzed Naruto and appeared to his left. Naruto was able to track his movements, but he couldn't react to his attacks. That is why Naruto was on his back, looking up at the sky with an annoyed look on his face. Lee was going to make Naruto use 50% of his ability just so he can get a slight advantage over Lee in terms of speed and power. It was either that or be an asshole and use elemental ninjutsu and possibly cripple Lee and end his career. Naruto sat up and glared at Lee. "You're fast, but you're not fast enough to win." Naruto then shot forward and clashed fists with Rock Lee. Lee had to pull back and shake his hand, It felt as though he had just punched iron. Naruto pressed forward and faked the jab, forcing Lee to block as Naruto sidekicked Lee right on the kneecaps. Lee nearly stumbled forward as his leg almost gave out, and Naruto chose that moment to land an uppercut clean on his cheek before punching him directly in the nose, breaking it. Naruto then jumped away to avoid any punches that Lee would potentially throw. To Naruto's surprise, Lee wasn't standing there holding his nose, nor was he crying bent over. He was just looking at Naruto with a look of respect. "I'm sorry, Naruto-san. I am no longer able to continue this fight. At the current moment, I am at my limit. I do have another technique that I can use, but it would not be wise for me to use such a technique on a comrade. But you are a smart fighter. I can tell you will make a most capable shinobi. Proctor, I give up." But guys, we're going to end it off right there. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. But without further ado, I am out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.